PS5 news.
Yes.
We knew it was coming.
We did.
Wired had an exclusive story revealing some details about the PS5. The PlayStation 5 is going to be released in late 2020. We kind of knew this was going to happen, right? We
did.
It wasn't a shock.
They had said that.
But now there's a little bit more details about what this is going to be featuring. Wired got an exclusive somehow. Good old Wired. Still kicking around there. And they talked to CEO, Sony Entertainment CEO, Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan about what's going on with this. And the main takeaways, there's a few takeaways here in this exclusive reveal. The first one is the GPU hardware being able to do ray tracing. Bending light naturally in real time easier, better effects, get closer to photorealism, things like that. It's a more powerful console in terms of that, and rendering, things like that. That's what they were talking about. And then extolling the solid state drive. So with the solid state drive, of course, it's just so much quicker than a physical hard drive with moving parts, mechanical. And I don't know, they even use the fastest internal hard drives. They use a 5400 or 7800 in the PS4. They use slower ones maybe to be safer. I don't know.
No, I think they use you have to have a certain speed.
They have to have a certain speed?
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, a solid state drive is like 10 times quicker. And accessing in the boot up, things of that nature. So obviously that'll make sure that the games load quicker. And then, even booting up, you'll be able to boot up in seconds instead of how long does the PS4 take to boot up when you turn it on?
A while.
A while?
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
It's not always the fastest thing. Granted, I have a lot of shit on my PS4.
All right. Cerny said, if you look at a game like Marvel Spider-Man, there are some pieces of data duplicated 400 times on the hard drive. The solid-state drive sweeps away the need for all that duping. So not only is its raw read speed dramatically faster than a hard drive, but it saves crucial space. See, I didn't know that about saving the space like that. I guess if it's quicker to access, you don't have to put it in multiple places.
Yeah, like on a slower hard drive, it'll make multiple instances on something so it can access it faster. Quicker. You don't need to do that with an SSD.
All right. Okay. Okay. You can build a larger world, not using as much space, shrink the size of the games. Physical games for the PS5 will use 100 gigabyte optical discs. Wow. We're at 100. I thought 50 was too much. Because right now I think 50 was what I thought what the dual layer ones are. Wow. And 25 is the regular Blu-ray, but 50 is a double. 100, Ian. There you go. Hopefully that'll save from having too much downloading to do.
Installation is mandatory.
Okay, then.
Installation is mandatory.
Well, I meant downloading like a day one update. It'll be smaller, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, the installation is mandatory due to the difference. So basically, it's not just it's not like taking a PS4 and putting a solid state drive in it and calling it a day. They're basically going to be engineering everything around the faster access of a solid state drive.
Sure, which makes sense.
And programming to that as well. So mandatory installations are because the solid state drive actually allows you to access faster than you would if you were just pulling off of an optical disc.
Sure, that makes sense. It'll be loading. You hear it spin. You'd be like, "Oh, let's go! I want to kill the Kingpin now, or whatever I'm doing in Spider-Man," which is still sitting in the bag that Yoshi gave me. I got to play. So that to me is the biggest takeaway from this, and we'll talk about the haptic feedback on the PS5 controller. Was talked about where like it feels different. Like what was the example they gave? Like you're driving in the game and one tire it's like dirt, the other tire it's road. You can actually feel the difference on the controller. Like you can feel it. You can feel like the type of material you're going through, like mud or dirt. Like that's interesting.
It's interesting, but Nintendo did it with the HD Rumble, and immediately dropped it. I mean, this is one of those things that I guarantee you, that's one of those things that Sony is talking about now, and is within 2 months after it coming out.
No one's going to use it?
No one's going to use it. It's like the touchpad on the PS4 controller.
No one uses it?
It's essentially just 2 extra buttons. You press the right side for one button, the left side for another. No one uses the touchpad for fucking anything on it.
But
the HD Rumble on the Switch, was neat. I thought it was cool. I liked it. It's not even in the Switch Lite, and most games don't use it. I don't know why companies keep feeling like they need to come at me with this stupid fucking gimmick. Like I'm gonna care. It's not going to be used for anything. Nothing.
Adaptive triggers varying levels of resistance to make shooting a bow and arrow feel like the real thing. That's interesting.
It's neat, but that's all the stuff that gets discarded. At the end of the day, how powerful is what's in the box?
What's in the box? Well, this is what I would say from a marketing standpoint. We got to think of something new, guys, because the controllers looked almost exactly the same for the past 25 years. We got to add something. We got to add something from the PS4 that's different. You know, we got 4 triggers. We got a start and select button, four face buttons, and we got a digital cross pad. We got, you know, two thumb joysticks. We got to add something. I mean, that's the thing. You say something about Nintendo. Every system Nintendo's had, the controllers looked entirely different, and like from system to system.
I don't think that's always a good thing.
It's not always a good thing, but at least that's built-in marketing about, wow, this is a reason you should buy a new system. With the PS5, they're trying to make the controller an additional reason to buy the system when it's not. It's not going to be.
People like PlayStation controllers. People like Xbox controllers. At this point, I don't think there isn't a reason for a PS5. I get it. At this point, consoles are computers. They don't need to add much. It simply needs to be a marginal upgrade that people buy and put in front of their TV. At this point, with the exclusives becoming less of an issue, and hopefully it'll be even less of an issue this generation, it really does come down to who's got a cooler controller, because the box is going to do the same fucking thing. Does the PS5 controller do more whiz-bang nonsense than the fucking Xbox Scarlet controller? Then maybe that's what's going to sell some people on it. But it's dumb.
Because we're all going to have the ray tracing. The new Xbox will. It's going to have the solid-state drive to match this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be radically different.
And I don't begrudge the console industry this, but I think it's time where we have to just change how we think about consoles. We're not looking for big jumps anymore. This is
done.
It's done. This is the upgrade that you make.
Yes, this is the iteration you're going to get every 2 years. That'll be your new computer, except with computers, you don't have to toss out the entire thing. You can upgrade pieces.
At some point you do, but not as quick as these.
No, yeah. I had one computer going for 8 years at one point. With this, no. Can I just put in a new GPU into this, put in a new solid-state drive, and you can't. And that's what I'm going to say about this, is that this is what's the most underwhelming part to me, is that in the past, you had either consoles being on the cutting edge of technology or just behind computers. Now they're getting consumers excited about solid-state drives that have been on PCs for almost 10 years now.
Sure.
Solid-state drives are getting cheaper and quicker on computers where they used to be prohibitively expensive. Now you really can't buy a computer without a solid-state drive in it. They're built in, and yeah, you still get the regular hard drives for like the mass storage, but like running you run your operating system a lot of times off of your solid state drive. You run a lot of your programs because it's quicker, it boots up.
Yeah, my solid state drive on this shit the bed, so the operating system moved to the non-solid state, and I mean you notice immediately.
Well, this boots up in like 15 seconds.
Yeah, this did at one point.
It did. You just got a new solid state drive in there.
I should.
And it's a kind of rare for them to go that quickly. Solid state drives.
Yeah.
Must have been abusing with all your DJing, Ian. You couldn't take it.
Oh, I don't think
too much rendering out your new video review we're waiting on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, you downplayed that last week. You're all gung-ho. Anyway, Ian. Okay, so do you think there'll be enough? I guess this all comes down to the exclusives. And again, it's all about the killer apps. They got to announce a bunch of killer apps for this PS5 next year, because I'm sure there's a lot of people with their PS4 that are still satisfied with it. You know, they don't see the need to do this major jump up, especially if the price is going to be prohibitive.
Well, the major jump up isn't to say, ooh, look at my fancy new console. It's just to be able to keep playing the games that they want to play.
Sure, if there's enough exclusives.
Yeah. Well, enough games, period. Like I said, that's the problem.
Well, I'm talking about like exclusive to the PS5, because it's still on PS4 and PS5.
Sure.
What the hell? And because the PS4 now, is now like $200 it's down to when it's on sale?
I think
brand new?
I think used original models are $200.
But they come down on sales. Like for Christmas and Black Friday, they're going to come down.
I know our prices just lowered. I don't remember what they are, but I know our prices just dropped leading up to the holidays.
There you go. Yeah, they're getting cheaper and cheaper. You can get a terabyte console for $300 at Target for a terabyte, and then you can get them
Slim.
Whatever the new one they sell is. Let's see.
Probably a Slim.
And then actually, it's a little slim. And then you can get them refurbished on eBay for $150. For a 500 gig one. So there you go. So we're officially in cheap current gen territory, that dangerous spot where GameStop
Xbox Ones are like 120, 130.
They're 130
Yeah, they're cheap.
for a standard Xbox One.
Standard 500 gigabyte Xbox One through us, I think, is 130.
Wow, look at that. Look at that advertising. Two
I mean,
locations.
It's used, but
Okay, interesting. Okay, so if you had put the odds right now, Ian, what's the odds you get a PS5 at launch next year? Out of 100% chance.
100. What percent?
0 to 100%. 20.
20.
20.
20. I didn't even get my PS4 until a year.
You waited it
Yeah, I waited a year
until there was enough games.
until there's enough stuff. Yeah.
All right, Ian's your market. You got to win Ian over, Sony. You got to win him over.